Changes are good. Changes are good, Jessica. I want that hat. I have that hat. All right, if you're watching this, the strike is over and I can finally officially just talk about the live action. So, One Piece live action. We're going to start with the first 2 episodes. Yes, I have already watched everything, but at the end of the video, there's just like a few reactions of in the moment watching it. All right, so overall, very happy. The first 2 episodes did a good job laying the groundwork. I wasn't blown away by episode 1. I think I gave it just an average 5 out of 10. It was fine. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic at this point. Episode 2, 10 out of 10. Blew me out of the water. Loved it. I think I gotta rewatch some things, gotta rethink it, but might be my favorite episode of the entire season. So, which is hilarious, because like Orange Town is the bottom barrel, my least favorite arc in One Piece. Regardless. I think the show was at its strongest when it was able to rearrange the plot and make changes to do its own thing. I have no idea if that's a controversial opinion or not, but for me, every anime, movie, TV show that I've ever watched, live action adaptation, they just try to remake the manga or anime beat for beat, and it will never come across. You're not going to capture the emotion the same way that you're going to in the anime or the manga, just because you're limited to reality. You can't get these giant expression faces. You don't have the movement. You don't have the toolbox is different of what you can do and work with. And in live action, you have to make changes. And if you don't understand the source material, if you don't understand the characters, if you don't understand the themes, if you don't understand what the plot is trying to do and convey, you can't properly make those changes. So it's easier to just do the exact same thing. It's harder to make changes and keep the characters consistent, keep the message there, and portray the same themes and bring the same emotions while changing things. So I really like that they had the courage and knew that they had to make those changes, and the changes that they made, in my opinion, were done flawlessly. I am very, very, very happy. I was less happy when they went to those key moments, like these are iconic One Piece moments. They have to be in the series. They have to be in these episodes. And they portrayed them exactly like the anime or manga. They used the exact same dialogue, and it felt forced into me. It felt like a box was being checked off. This is this classic scene. It needs to be here. Portray it this way, exactly this way. And it almost broke the flow for me of the episode of what they were doing. It did feel forced into me. I'm happy they were there. It was nice to see them, but they did not hit the same way the anime or manga did. And I wouldn't expect them to. So I almost wished that they could have changed some of those moments in some way to make them work better for live action, change the dialogue, change the way it was set up, change something about it. Maybe. I don't know. Hard to say, but the anime and manga moments didn't feel as smooth as other parts of the episode. Special effects were great. I think Luffy's fruit was really well executed. The chop fruit, glorious, beautiful, 0 complaints. I like that we saw everyone fighting more. Zoro's fighting. Oh, sweet love of God, that is beautiful. I got to see 3 sword technique in live action. His just regular 1 or 2 sword technique, absolutely perfect. I loved every single one of Zoro's fights. Oh my God, it was beautiful. I think he's related to a very famous stunt actor or something in Japan. I could be wrong. I don't know. I know he was in some other adaptations of anime and is very good at sword fighting, so they cast him perfectly. Little moments, little touches that just show their love. So everyone was praising about how the outfits were like from cover pages, and I love that. I love that we got a nod to Nami's original outfit. Yes, my only complaint really in the first 2 episodes really is Nami's hair. I still don't like the hair. We're moving past it. I love in the map that we seen, is it Mumo? The sea beast cow thing that's just there on the map. I love that. I like that we see Mihawk's little boat at Roger's execution. You're not going to convince me that they didn't hint that Crocomom is canon. I love that we were hearing Bink Sack. Um, During one of the episodes, I think it was in the first. Yeah, I think it was in the first two. I'm just so happy with all these little nods. The love that was put into this series, you can tell, and I'm so happy for that. So we start off with Roger's execution in episode 1, and I had a laugh because he's in chains. He's like, "You take these off; they're a little tight, or something," and reminds me of the Mummy movie where Brendan Fraser, he's up on the execution platform about to be executed. He's like, "The knot's a little tight. Can you loosen this and let me go?" And the executioner like, "He wants us to let him go. No, you can't let him go." I think my only issue with the opening with Roger's execution was he did laugh at the end. I just keep thinking of Smoker saying that when faced with death, that Roger laughed, just how Luffy laughed in the same situation. And I don't know, it didn't feel like a joyous laughing in the face of death kind of thing. It felt a little bit more sinister to me, which works with my Roger being the ultimate big bad, or this all being his plan from the beginning. So I'm not going to be too angry about that. All right, so he gives his speech about the new age of piracy, or ushering in the new age of piracy, gives his little chuckle. Smoker, no way, heard that chuckle. And then we get the series going forward. I love seeing Luffy on his little boat. We don't get to see like the whirlpool kind of like suck him up, but all right, it's all right. His boat is sinking. He gets in a barrel. We have the barrel. And I guess that goes to, there are some things that they just couldn't do in live action. For whatever reason, they didn't have the budget to get him sucked into a whirlpool. And same thing, they couldn't have him get carried off at the prison by a big giant bird, but you had like a nod to it. So he was saying, well, to get over the prison wall, I could grab hold to a bird and it could fly me over. And Kobe's just like, that's a stupid idea. Speaking of Kobe, the fact that they gave more time to him and Helmeppo, I am so happy with. My darling boy Angel Kobe is getting some screen time, and I love it. I absolutely love him and Luffy's journeys, and how one's being a pirate and one wants to be a marine, and they're just following each other's dreams, the parallels between them. And the growth of both these characters. I'm so happy we're getting more from Kobe. I absolutely adored the seagull bringing the mail. It looks so cute, and he's just like, I need a crew of 10 people. Well, what about you, seagull? You in? You gonna join me? And it flies away, and he's just like, mutiny. And I thought it was so funny and cute, and I love it. I'm happy with the seagulls. I'm happy with the Den Den Mushies. I think they are kind of creepy. How do we feel about the snail phones? I think I like them. They're really creepy, though. I think I like them. I adored how often Luffy is just like, I'm gonna be a different kind of pirate. Talking to Kobe, and he's saying, pirates are horrible. I've been kidnapped by them. They force me to work. I can barely even eat. They raid towns. And Luffy's like, I'm a different kind of pirate. And later on, Nami's just like, there's only one type of pirate. And then she's seeing that, no, Luffy is a different type of pirate. The flashbacks of Luffy's village, and we see him counting the days till Shanks return, and then Shanks returning, and him helping with the ship. And don't think I like Shanks that much in the live action. I guess I just need to see more from him. I don't know. I'm getting different vibes. He feels like I guess he's a little bit too much partying, a little bit too much into the drinking. But he was like that in the manga, I guess, the first couple times we've seen him. Mihawk found him drunk on an island, and then they all started drinking together. I don't know. I'm getting a different vibe. I'll see more from him. I got no real specific complaints. I don't know why it didn't click. It just didn't really for me, but we'll see. I did adore, though, when so Luffy saying he wants to join Shanks' crew, and he's tough enough now, and he stabs him in the eye. And he's saying when Shanks is stitching it up, don't stitch it up too well. I want it to scar. And Shanks says something along the lines of, scars are to show that you've learned a lesson, or something like that, and you didn't earn this one. And I thought that was really good message for him to give to little Luffy, so I was happy for that. But then when you have the bar scene, or the scene where the bandits come in and smash the bottle over Shanks' head, instead, he just smashes it on the counter. Like, what, you couldn't get breakaway glass to smash on his head? And instead just calls him a janitor and has him sweep that up. And Luffy saying, you should have fought him back and all that. I don't know. It didn't it didn't feel, I'm going with no, that moment didn't work for me in the live action. Back to the present day, I loved Kobe saying like, yeah, oh, here and Luffy wants to go to the Grand Line. He's like, those waves are 100 feet tall. The worst of the worst go there. There's sea monsters that'll kill you at every turn. And Luffy's just like, sounds like fun. And Kobe's like, it sounds terrifying. I love Kobe. I love Kobe, and he has his pink hair, and I'm so happy. His hair looked like blonde white in one of the trailers. I'm like, oh no, that's not my Kobe. This is my Kobe. This is Kobe. I am so happy with Kobe. I love that Kobe sneaks around the ship right carefully trying to be quiet because he's terrified and he needs somebody to teach him to stand up for himself. Meanwhile, Luffy is strutting along the ship as if he owns it. And when Alvida shows up, Luffy's just like, Kobe doesn't like you, and just starts calling her out. And then he's protecting Kobe during the fight, putting his head down to avoid attacks, and the Gum Gum pistol to knock her out. I really enjoyed it. I really, really, really did. And he just turns to Kobe, you coming with me? Let's go. It's so good. Zoro fighting, was it Mr. 7 early on, was definitely a good choice. We introduced Brokeworks earlier. The fact that season 2 is confirmed, and I'm praying we get Alabasta, and I am so excited. What else we got? Oh, Zoro, vicious. So Brokeworks is trying to recruit him, and they're like, no one says no to us. And he's like, I can't remember the exact lines. He's like, what's your signing bonus? A nice new fresh face tattoo. For the record, my favorite is 1, and then holds up. I'll let you guess which finger he holds up. As well as when they start fighting, Zoro's like, if your boss wanted to kill me or was making a serious offer, they should have sent someone higher than number 7. Brutal, this man. Same thing. I also love how everyone's just trying to recruit Zoro. So first was Brokeworks, and then later on we have Axe Hand Morgan being like, oh, you be some hell of a Marine, much better than my useless son, come join us. And Zoro, again, says something tragic and ruins this man's career with one line. But basically blowing him off, saying, you're not worth my time, I'm doing my own thing. And again, it's just like, he's not interested in joining anyone. And same thing when Luffy asks him to join, he still says no. So Luffy still unties him from the platform, and Zoro's like, I don't owe you anything. I'm not joining your little group of pirates or crew. I'm not playing pirates with you. And he's like, that's okay. I just want to untie you, because why be tied up in here when your dream's out there? And Zoro eventually repays him and goes with Luffy, and eventually is like, I am your first mate. I'm loyal to you. And I love that, because he has rejected everybody else asking him to join their crew, their group, and has chosen to follow Luffy, and I adore that so very much. Oh, I forgot to mention, when Luffy was being patched up by Shanks, he still wants to join the crew. And he's like, I've been practicing the face I'll make for my bounty poster. He's like, grrr, he makes a right angry face. Which is ridiculous, because we know that when Luffy gets his bounty poster, he's going to be smiling. And I love that. I love that difference, and I love it so very much. He's changed. He's changed from a little boy into Monkey D. Luffy, and I love it. Nami was introduced beautifully. Loved that for her. Swindling the buggy pirates and then the Navy and sneaking into the base. I love that we changed where the map was located. So instead of taking it from Buggy, we're taking it from Morgan. And everything just feels more purposeful. Don't get me wrong, love the manga so very much, but it does start off feeling very episodic. Everything's almost standalone because I only just recently started reading it. I was waiting for the grand storyline to reveal itself rather than for it to just be a little tiny journey to different places without anything pushing the story forward, I guess maybe would be the best way to say it. You don't know about the world building and the scope of everything when you just start off. So everything did feel very episodic. So having Axe Hand Morgan lead into the Black Cat Pirates, had Buggy keep coming back, and the events from previous episodes, meaning the stealing of the map, which led to them being captured by Buggy, which led to this, and then having everyone just being more incorporated together. It felt more purposeful for a TV show. And I did think that was a smart change on their behalf. I adore Helmeppo, my darling boy. I hate him starting off, but I grow to love him. I love Helmeppo. Fighting Zoro, challenging him, laughing at him, and Zoro takes him out without even drawing his sword. And of course, Luffy's so impressed. Kobe's cowering under a table. We still had the scene with the little girl with the sugar rice balls, and Zoro respecting her and eating the food off the floor. I still say if Sanji had seen Zoro being willing to eat food off the floor, they probably would have a different type of relationship, might not be so antagonistic and fighting with each other. The respect might be too high on Sanji's behalf after seeing that. But Zoro protecting the little girl and standing up for her, endearing him to Luffy by also showing that he knows when to hold back his strength by not drawing his sword. I think those were all fantastic choices. I was not expecting a naked Helmeppo playing with Zoro's swords. That sounds wrong. In that episode, and then Zoro cutting off all Helmeppo's hair, giving him the classic cut that I'm used to, and I'm like, did not expect it, but not going to complain. Not going to complain. I love Nami trying to crack the safe and Luffy being Luffy, distracting and talking to her, refusing to give absolute silence, and then the idea for just rip the safe out of the floor and they go flying out over. Like, it was all great. It was all great. The fight in the yard, Zoro coming to save them or help fight with them, trusting Luffy and them working together so well right away. And then I absolutely adore, so Zoro throws the safe over his shoulder and just carries it off so Nami can crack the safe later to get to the map. And I'm just thinking that it kind of feels the same vibe of Luffy being stuck in the cage and Zoro throwing it over his shoulder and going off with it. So, like, again, showing the strength he has as a character, physically so. And he already protected Luffy earlier, so it's just kind of still paying slight homage to things that they couldn't do in the anime and manga. I loved Kobe showing up at the end to take down Helmeppo and let everybody escape. And I loved Luffy telling him there are good pirates and bad pirates, so there are going to be good Marines and bad Marines, so you're going to be one of the good ones when he says his dream is to go become a Marine. And and Kobe's just like, well, that's going to mean someday we're going to be enemies. And Luffy's just like, yeah, but for right now, we're friends. My darling angels, my boys, I'm so happy. I'm so happy with those two casting of those two characters. So good, so good. My biggest issue right now for episode 1 was we don't have the Marines saluting them off, because I loved that moment in the manga where the Marines recognized that Luffy had saved them, freed them from Axe-Hand Morgan, and in respect they salute him and Zoro as they sail off. And then later on, it's like, all right, we just saluted pirates, which means we have to, I don't know, no supper or something like that, or run laps, whatever the hell they had to do. I really, really, really wish that had happened. And I thought we were going to get a call back to it at the end of the season, but we didn't, which was upsetting to me. But we'll get to that later. So overall, for episode 1, I enjoyed myself, but I wasn't drawn in. I wasn't invested. I felt like I was watching like a very well executed stage play. I hadn't been drawn in. I love the cast. I love the characters. I'm just waiting for something about the live action to hook me on its own. And I really see the potential. Again, I was happy that they were willing to make changes. I like the effects. The acting was good. Some things were cringe, but the line delivery, but I'm like, it's fine. It's supposed to be. It was just a fun, goofy time at moments, and I'm just waiting for the moment that I get hooked. And that came in episode 2. I love episode 2 so very much. This was you see what I mean by you have to be willing to make changes? Because Orange Town was all over the place. So many different locations, so much running around. And here they confine it to just pretty much the one location of the tent. Sure, we get a glimpse of outside. We have them held hostage in another room. But the majority of it is all just focused in this one location. And we still get everything we need to know. The important key heartfelt moments from the original. So we start off with the end of last episode, had Buggy on his throne, and just hot damn, looks fantastic. Was so excited seeing that. And just in general, like, I loved everything about this episode, but specifically, like, the lighting, like, the stage lighting and everything was flawless. I'm a sucker for good lighting. You give me a show with good lighting, I'm probably going to ignore every other flaw about it because everything's just so either dramatic or uniquely lit. It's hard to say to describe it for me, but oh my god, this was beautiful. You had little callbacks for Buggy being this big performer, and he goes up to somebody saying everything did wrong, the timing was off, where was my introduction lighting, and where was the lion? So he goes to the lion tamer and drives him off the stage. So we had a callback to there was supposed to be a lion in the anime, and I love that. I think my only one and only one complaint for this entire episode was in the flashback. After Luffy had eaten the gum gum fruit, he had taken a bite and yada yada, and he was training. And someone had said to him to go easy on it, and he says something that the devil fruit I ate was more valuable than all of Shanks's treasures, and I ate it, so now I'm more valuable than all the treasure. And I did not like that at all. Luffy has never placed value in himself because he ate this specific devil fruit. He's always had the confidence in himself, the confidence in his dream, his hope and everything to go forward and achieve what he wants because he wants to. He doesn't think he's special for any outside reason, so I did not like that one line. So we open up with them sailing out to sea. Nami's cracking the safe. We get the hints of she's stealing it for somebody else. And then, of course, the buggy pirates attack. You have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful red smoke with incredible lighting. Luffy looking out through the little, like, notch in the wood to see the pirate Jolly Roger coming after them. Before everyone passes out from the knockout gas, Luffy swallows the map to keep it safe. They wake up in this thing, and Nami and Zoro freaking out. We've been taken by the Marines. Like, no, we've been taken by pirates. And Nami's like, that's not better. We got her saying how much she hates pirates, and Luffy saying, we can just probably talk to them. You can't talk with pirates. They destroy people's lives and homes. You don't understand. You're just playing pirates. You're not a real pirate. I am a pirate. I'm a different kind of pirate. And she will come to accept that, and she will love him. I love that when they reveal the tent, and it's all the villagers, and they're just chained to the platforms audience, forced to clap and laugh and perform for Buggy, essentially, watch his performance. I love the callback to the lion tamer. I love Luffy calling Buggy the wrong name over and over again. I love how insecure Buggy is about his big nose. I love how he's like, I'm the star of the show. I love all of it. I love Nami trying to throw Luffy under the bus, saying he's a freak like you. Watch, throws the hat up in the air, causing him to stretch, and then takes that opportunity to run. And then you see the destruction of the town, and she's shocked. She loses, like, the will to survive and just sees the destruction of everything and flashbacks to her own home. As someone comes up and drags her back in, she's like, what did you do to their town? How could you do this to them? And he's like, I let them keep their hands so they could clap. I loved everything about this introduction. So when Nami and Zoro were captured and put in the other room, I love their conversation. Zoro's like, if there's nothing in it for you, then you're not willing to help. You're going to run. You're going to save yourself. I know people just like you. And she's like, listen, I can get us out of here, but I'm going to need your help. And he's like, how the hell are you going to get us out of here? It's like, she takes her the lockpicking kit. You had a lockpicking kit? I had 4. Clowns only found 3. And Zoro is brutal to the unicycle guy who comes in to get revenge. Like, you hunted me and my brother down, you killed him, turned him in for the bounty. He's like, not very memorable. And he starts describing all the things he did, and he's just like, yeah, that sounds like me. But it really has the vibe of the day I came to your town, it was the most memorable day of your life. For me, it was a Tuesday. Like, Zoro does not care about these people, and I love it. It's so good. When they have Luffy being stretched out on the rack, the Buggy comes up. Originally I wasn't really sure about how I felt about him saying, hey, Shanks abandoned you, and saying, like, who are you? Why would you want to become Pirate King? Are you trying to make someone look up to you or live up to someone's expectations? Goes into Shanks. He abandoned you just like he abandoned me. It's just Buggy being wrong. It's fine. That's all fine. Because Luffy doesn't want to be Pirate King to get anyone's approval or to prove anything to anyone. He wants to be Pirate King because that's the first step in his dream. And Luffy doesn't really get serious until after he starts badmouthing Shanks and then starts threatening a little kid. So that's when he starts fighting back, and the devil fruit is revealed, and Luffy gets knocked unconscious and put in that tank with salt water. Technically could have been any water, but besides the point. And I love it. I love it so very much. The parallels going back and forth between him drowning in that tank and then in the past when he'd been captured by the bandits. And okay, again, I didn't like the battle scene with Shanks, but the saving Luffy scene was done pretty well. The speech seemed a little bit forced, but don't threaten my friends kind of thing. I really didn't like the Shanks flashbacks very much. But Yasopp had an awesome scene, like basically in Wanted, bending bullets and ricocheting them off stuff. Lucky was cool. It's fine, it's fine. But then we have him rushing off to save Luffy. And so someone's saving him in the past, and Luffy having faith that someone's going to come save him. His crew's going to come save him there in the future. And the parallels between those two moments, I loved it so very much. Seriously though, like Shanks showing up and scaring off the guard of the coast. Honestly, still didn't do it for me. I don't know what's not clicking about his actor. But you had that moment. And Luffy is distraught. What about your arm? You lost your arm, and Shanks is just like, I have another. It's fine. All that matters is that you're okay. And protecting him there, and then the faith that Zoro and Nami are going to come save him there in the future. My actual heart. I loved it so very much. And once again, the lighting in these scenes are beautiful. You had a wonderful line with Zoro and the unicycle guy's throwing the knives like, you really don't fear death. And it's like, no, I just don't fear you. And then they escape, and Nami throws the strongest baton in the world with the most force, apparently, to puncture the glass, and the glass shatters, and Luffy slides on out, and he's fine, and he coughs up the map. And they start fighting Buggy. We don't have him getting kicked between the legs, which is fine. Instead, they just put him in all the different boxes. Buggy saying that Luffy is just a sad boy wearing another man's hat, and Luffy knows exactly who he is. He always has. He says, I'm Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm going to be king of the pirates. Proceeds to take down Buggy. Beautiful, glorious, flawless, zero notes. I love this. That parallels so well. Zoro had said previously, like, I don't need to believe in Luffy. Luffy believes in himself. And so many times throughout this series, people question Luffy. They question his dream, who he is as a pirate, his actions. Luffy has never questioned himself, and I love it so very much. And when they free the town, they're like, after they beat Buggy, they're like, all right, let's get out of here. And Luffy's like, hang on, one more thing. And he has to go and release the people that are held hostage. And the mayor is just like, well, okay, you're pirates, so are we captured by you now? Are you the new leaders of this town? And they're like, no, we're a different kind of pirate. And they try to give him food, to be like, here, take this on your journey. And Luffy's like, you need this food more than us, it's okay. And I'm like, Luffy's turning down food, but he comes back, he's like, snack for the road. I'm like, that's my Luffy. That's my boy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with this episode. 10 out of 10. No genuine complaints. I love this episode so very much. Like, I was hooked. I was hooked on this episode. So Luffy gives the map to Nami. She's like, you're giving this to me. You're trusting me with this. And he's like, you're our navigator. And I love it. And the episode ends with Nami stitching up and fixing Luffy's hat, which is beautiful. And just when you're like, oh, she's part of the crew, she's loyal to them, it's so wonderful, they're going to be so happy, make a lovely crew and sail the Grand Line. She makes the phone call being like, I got the map secured, whatever, I'll bring it to you. And I'm like, and everyone's just like, yeah, because we have to do her storyline. And I'm very excited to talk about the next couple episodes, but we will do that later. I will talk to you later. Bye.
Oaktown 22 years ago. That smile. Unleashing the golden age of piracy. Oh, it's baby Mihawk. He's just a little kid. Pretty sure he's supposed to be laughing. Changes are good. Changes are good, Jessica. I want that hat. I have that hat. Oh, we're looking for Zoro early. Kobe's in the back. Your name wasn't on the list. Oh, we're getting violent early. No. Kobe's scared. Find food. Find food, yep. Little Luffy going to meet Shanks. Where's Beckman? He's going for the knife. Kobe's talking like Galvita is Big Mom or something. No one leaves. Luffy protecting Kobe. Pushing him down to avoid Alvita's hit. Oh. I'm impressed with the Gum Gum fruit. Oh, it is Mr. 7. Free face tattoo. My favorite is number 1. If they were that serious, they would have sent someone better than number 7. The disrespect. Oh, that's beautiful. A+ swordsmanship. No complaints. This fantastic. The sound. Splinky sack in the background. Oh, okay. Let's see the Gum Gum fruit. Let's see it. A little more shiny than I would like, but no complaints. It does not look like something you would want to bite into. Accurate that it tastes bad. Mountain bandits, mountain bandits. Change is good, Jessica. Change is good. What is the reason for this change other than what we can't afford breakaway glass? Next stop, the Grand Line. Do you know how to get there? No. Don't slap Kobe. We shared a meal, Kobe, and if being a Marine is your dream, that's enough for me. Most Luffy line ever. We shared a meal. Elsewhere in the East Blue. My favorite girl, my darling girl, my actual angel. Look at her. Pretending she's all helpless. Stealing the boat. I still don't like Nami's hair. I do like that they gave her a book. So she's mapping as she goes. Shellstown. Only one way I'm getting inside that base, and it's not on an empty stomach. That is Luffy. That is 100% Luffy. Can grab onto a bird or something. Very good reference there. Okay, we are changing how we meet Zoro. Okay. I'm not opposed. That's the buggy pirates at Shellstown. And Nami's here. Helmet Bow being East Blue Helmet Bow. Zoro's still eating it off the floor, okay. Making the girl smile. Luffy being like, that's my swordsman. Oh, is he gonna take him down with just the sheath? Oh my god, I love this actor. Nami knocks him out. Oh, she's stealing the outfit. That's why she needs someone who wasn't so tall. Zoro as a Marine. If there are good pirates and bad pirates, then there are going to be good Marines and bad Marines. You're going to be one of the good ones. God love Luffy. It's definitely Helmet Bow's laugh. See, this implies like he's only done like a couple hours. Get lost. I am lost. And I just realized Zoro told someone to get lost. This is almost implying that he set that dream aside. Like the pirate hunter was a means to an end because he needed money because he got lost in his quest to become the world's greatest swordsman and track down Mihawk. Not we went after become world's greatest swordsman and then end up becoming a pirate hunter and focusing on the money and stuff like that. Yeah. Alright, so the map we get from Buggy is actually going to be coming from the Marines. Why are we stealing from the Marines, Nami? Where's our baton? There it is. I would have liked it more if, because Garp was a Marine, Luffy could recognize a fake Marine, but that might be giving Luffy a little too much credit, so I'll take him overhearing the conversation. Alright, so we're going to Morgan's office to get the map rather than Zoro's swords. That's your plan? Walk into the office and ask for the map? I might have to fight him for it. Helmet Bow, my sweet boy. Stop playing with the swords. Oh god, he's gonna die. Please don't kill Helmeppo. We need him later. Luffy's a terrible liar. She stole his keys. Did not see that coming. I'm an idiot. Appreciate the world government symbol. Literally ripping the safe out of the ground. Okay. He joins the fight. I love that edition of the Black Cat Pirates. Give me 3 sword style. Okay. Moment of truth. Will this series pull off 3 sword style? Yeah. And Zoro just picks it up and puts his back. Just like when he was carrying Luffy in the cage. So I'm fine. It's fine. He cut his hair. Kobe punches him. No time to explain. The whole island's trying to kill us. Next time we meet, we might be enemies. But for now, we're friends. Don't get the soldiers saluting them off, which is upsetting to me. That's okay. It's okay. Yeah, the dog head ship. My darling Garp. Did I just say my darling Garp? My god, I have forgiven him, haven't I? The snail. Pirate in a straw hat. It's Buggy! Oh, the voice. I don't like him saying the Gum Gum fruit is worth more than all Shanks' treasure, which means now he's worth more than all Shanks' treasure. He was worth that before. Can we go back to the Kuro Black Cat Pirate scroll, please? No, knockout gas. He's swallowing up. I love this lighting. Buggy pirates. Oh, so pretty. Alright, I already love episode 2 so much more than episode 1. They have his hat. Not every situation can be solved with violence. Quoting Shanks. Only one type of pirate, as she is thrown into a circus. There is no pirate like Buggy. Oh, God almighty, they're chained up. Forced to watch him perform. The genius jester. Buggy's nose. Nami run to save herself. And sees the destruction of the town. A+. Cadet. Oh, we get Kobe. And there's Garp. Why are we screaming? What are you doing to my boy? Cotton candy. It's a very good question. Why does he want to be king of the pirates? He's not trying to impress anybody. No, it's not. Yeah, he betrayed you by saving his life. A, love that he forgot his name. B, Buggy is terrifying. Oh, the anger in his voice. Oh god, that voice. If Buggy had been introduced like this in the manga, I would have loved him from the very beginning. Oh my god, I'm loving Buggy. What did he say? Remember me? And then Zoro said some other homicidal unicycle riding clown. How does he say that with a straight face? Zoro killed his brother? It's like, I killed a lot of pirates. This set Zoro up as the demon quite nicely. Doesn't even flinch. Music's intense. Feeding the snail. His uniform's too big. He'll grow into it. Garp, be nice to Kobe. Garp learns it's Luffy. He's so proud. He knows Luffy would want him to follow his dream. Love Lucky. I prefer the manga for how this entire scene played out. Like, are we gonna get Beckman putting a cigarette out in someone's eyes? Okay, yes, that's pretty cool. They put him in water. Damn you, clown. Okay, Orange Town's probably my least favorite arc. This would have been incredible. Alright, Lord of the Coast. Let's see what you look like. Parallels here are beautiful. Luffy drowning in present day with Buggy, and Luffy drowning as a kid, needing to be saved by Shanks and waiting for his friends to come save him in the present day, being told that no one's coming, and then someone shows up. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's only an arm. I'm just glad you're okay. Do not mess with the Straw Hat. You really don't fear death, do you? No, I just don't fear you. I love him saying, I don't need to believe in Luffy. Luffy believes in himself. He's crawling for the hat over the map. God, this lighting. Chop Chop Fruit is perfect. I love Buggy's voice. I know exactly who I am. I'm Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm gonna be king of the pirates. You're giving this to me? You're the navigator. Garp seems a little too motivated. I don't see him being someone to hunt down pirates like this. At least not so passionately. I feel like the misdirect of him being an antagonist doesn't sit right with me. Lucky Roo, drinking all the drinks. Oh, Shank's gonna give him the straw hat. My heart's not ready for this. I'm always gonna miss him most of all. Luffy's gonna cry. It's every day gonna be this crazy with you. Baby transponder snail. Alright, so episode 1 was like a 5 out of 10. This was a 10 out of 10.